Welcome to a special Ask Arlington. I'm Jay Warren. Flooding and erosion are important topics for local homeowners, and we've got an expert to answer some of those key questions on that subject with us today. Amy Cannon is the Assistant Director for Public Works and Transportation and is also our floodplain administrator, and she joins us. We want to thank you for being here and all the work you do here in the city for our residents. We've got a big topic to cover here on a lot of different areas, and we wanted to break this maybe into 3 segments to make it a little bit more digestible. I know flooding, floodplain, and erosion are kind of the 3 umbrella topics. And let's start with the floodplain. One of the questions we get a lot of is, how do I know if my house is actually in the floodplain? How do you check that out?
There are several ways that anyone can check out if they're in the floodplain or not. We really recommend that folks go to the city's website and check out Arlington maps and then use the flood tool to see if their house is mapped in. They can also visit floodsmart.gov, which is FEMA's website for the National Flood Insurance Program, and find out if their home is actually in the floodplain. And if they just still do not know what else to do, they can always call us at 817-459-6550 and ask for floodplain information from Public Works and Transportation.
And that number one more time?
817-459-6550.
Perfect. Now let's say you end up in the floodplain after you figured all that out, either calling or researching it yourself. How do you get flood insurance? Because that's not covered by your just normal homeowner insurance policy, correct?
That is correct. Flood insurance is separate of any standard homeowner's insurance policy. To purchase a flood insurance policy, we recommend that owners or even tenants call their renter's insurance or their current homeowner's insurance policy company and then ask them about flood insurance, about purchasing a policy and how much their rates would be given if they're in the floodplain or not. We recommend everyone in Arlington purchase a flood insurance policy. Everyone is eligible to purchase a flood insurance policy in Arlington. They should never be told that they cannot purchase one.
What's the benefit if you're not in the floodplain?
The benefit if you're not in the floodplain is that you're covered whether a flood happens or not. It's a very low rate. So a flood can happen at any time. An inlet could get clogged and overflow and the water could flow into your house, or a water main could break, and then the flood insurance policy would help cover the damages associated with that.
So it gives you some added peace of mind,
Yes.
essentially.
Yes, just because you're in the floodplain doesn't mean that you're not at risk of flooding.
Right, all right. Well, as we're talking about flooding, that takes us to our next kind of umbrella topic here. What should our residents do if they experience flooding at their home?
If water has entered a home, we really recommend that everyone contact their flood insurance company and let them know that a flood has occurred. What they'll need to do is start taking pictures or video with the date timestamp of the damage within their home. And then after that, make a list of what was damaged. Be very detailed. Put information of what serial numbers are on appliances or TVs or anything like that, and make sure you document everything. You do not want to start tearing out the flood damaged items or parts of your home yet without having that proper documentation, because you won't be able to make a flood insurance claim appropriately. It'll take longer to recover. And then once you've done that and you've talk to your insurance company and about scheduling an adjuster to come out, then we recommend that you start trying to get the place as dry as possible and removing the materials that have absorbed water. So things like sheetrock, carpet, furniture, all of that could be basically contaminated with flood water needs to be removed and disposed of. We also recommend removing stuffed animals, plastic utensils, and even food items that have been exposed to flood waters.
Yeah, a lot of the materials you've talked about are almost like sponges, and in that damp environment, then you get mold and you get even bigger problems, right?
Yes, and that's why we really recommend that everyone try to dry the home out, either opening the windows or getting fans in there and getting things dry, because mold will be an issue.
All right, let's talk a little bit outside the home then. After a heavy rainfall, there's often standing water in people's yards or in the roadway for that matter. What does the city do, or can the city help out in those circumstances?
In those circumstances, if the standing water is within your own property, we recommend that you either regrade the property to get the water to drain away from the house and toward the street, or installing French drains. If you have a really flat area and you can't really get it to drain very well with grading, you can install what's called a French drain, and it'll take the water through a pipe and then get it to the street.
You're basically redirecting the water.
You're redirecting the water away from the house. For roadway issues, you can call the city and report the ponding in the street. What we'll do is we'll put it on a list and investigate to see how long the street holds water. If it holds water over a certain period of time, then we'll put it on a potential project list to go and adjust the grades of the street.
You can also do that through our app, the Ask Arlington app.
That is correct.
Yeah, very good. All right, our next umbrella, kind of final umbrella topic here is erosion, which we talk about a lot here in the city. What can residents do to stop erosion on their property if they're alongside a creek?
We really recommend the first place to start is to establish vegetation, because what happens is when water is running away from people's homes towards the creek and it's very, very no vegetation or very, very light vegetation, that'll start causing those cuts in the soil, and that moves it into the creek. That's the base of erosion. And so we really recommend folks establishing grasses, whether it's mondo grass or Bermuda grass, something to really grow and then let it be a little bit taller, and that'll help keep the banks a little bit more stabilized.
Those roots basically kind of form a foundation, if you will.
That is correct.
So it doesn't start flowing away.
Yeah.
All right. And let's say you have a tree that has fallen into the creek and is blocking flow, maybe behind your house. Can the city help in the removal of that?
Yes, you can contact Public Works and Transportation, and also put in a request on the Ask Arlington app to have Public Works come out and actually remove that tree.
All right, very good. Well, Amy, there's so much that we could cover, and we had a limited amount of time, but that was a lot of helpful information. We do appreciate that and all the work that you and your team are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that will do it for this topic. We have published a full Q&A on the city's website. If you'd like more information, all you have to do is search flooding at myarlingtontx.com.